Let me ask you something honestly. How many times have you written stateless widget and stateful widget just because the tutorial told you to, without truly understanding what's happening inside? Most people just memorize one line. Stateless doesn't change, stateful changes. But in interviews and in real world applications, this one liner is not enough. So today I'm going to explain stateless and stateful widgets in the simplest way possible using real life examples and real code, so that once this clicks, you will never be confused again. Imagine this: you go to a movie theater, the screen is showing just a poster. It never changes, no animation, no interaction, nothing. That poster is exactly like a stateless widget. Now imagine the live cricket scoreboard in the same theater. The time keeps running, the score keeps updating. That scoreboard is a stateful widget. A stateless widget is frozen in time, and a stateful widget lives in time. Now, let's connect this with real Flutter code. Suppose I want to show you a simple text on the screen, just a welcome message, no interaction, no update, nothing dynamic. So, here is how we can do it in the stateless widget. So, let's say I'm in this main.dart file, and here let's create a stateless widget as welcome text, and then inside it come to the build method, and from here return a simple text widget, and it will say welcome to widget wisdom. And then for style, let's add the text style and make the font size to 20. Now look at this very carefully. This widget has no memory, no variable that changes, no button, and no interaction. It will display this text today, tomorrow, and forever unless the parent tells it to rebuild. This is why it is called stateless. Now let's move to a widget that actually changes. Imagine a counter app. You press a button and the number increases. That means the app must remember the old number and update the new one. That memory is called state. Now let me show you a real stateful widget code for this. So let's say here I'm creating a stateful widget as counter screen, and then come inside this state class, and here create a new variable to hold the counter value, and let's name it as count and add the value as 0. Then here create a increment method which will be used to increment this count value, and then inside it here add the set state which will notify the UI that something is changed, and then inside set state increase the count value by 1. Now come to the build method, and from here just simply return a column view, and then add the main axis alignment and add this value to center. Now inside children's, here add the text widget, then say count, and then add the count value by adding a $sign. Now here add the style property, and again add the text style and make the font size to 22. Then afterwards here add an elevated button, and when this button is pressed we will call this increment method. So here add on pressed, then increment, then for its child here add the text widget which will simply say increase. It's fine. So here in this code, this counter screen itself is not holding the changing value. The real changing value lives inside counter screen state, and this count is equals to 0. This variable is our state. This is our memory. This is where Flutter remembers the value. Now the most powerful line here is not this count plus plus. It is this set state thing. This line does not directly change the UI. This line only tells Flutter one thing: hey Flutter, my data has changed. Please rebuild the UI. Flutter then reruns the build method. It creates a fresh UI using the new value of count. It compares old and new UI, and then it only updates what's changed. That's why the number updates smoothly. Now here comes a very important interview truth. Listen carefully. In Flutter, the stateful widget class itself does not hold the state. The state class holds the state. That's why you always see two classes in a stateful widget. One widget class, one state class. The widget is just a blueprint and the state class is the memory. Now let's clear one dangerous misunderstanding. Many beginners think stateless mean it will never rebuild. That is completely wrong. Stateless widget can rebuild many times. They just cannot store changing data inside them. For example, if your app theme changes from light mode to dark mode, your stateless widget will rebuild. If the parent rebuild, your stateless widget will rebuild, but it still won't remember internal values because it has no state object. Meanwhile, a stateful widget can rebuild and also remember data. Now let's log this concept with a real-world analogy you will never forget. Imagine your mobile screen is the TV. The UI is the picture on that TV. The state is the remote control. When you press a button on the remote doesn't redraw the pixel itself. It only sends a signal. Similarly, set state never redraws the UI directly. It only sends a signal to Flutter. Something changed. Please refresh the UI. The UI is always a result of state. Listen me again. The UI is always a result of state, never a controller of state. Okay. Now another powerful interview point. If someone asks, what is the life cycle difference between stateless and stateful widgets? You can clearly answer this that a stateless widget has only the build life cycle, and a stateful widget is created, initialized, updated, rebuilt, and destroyed. It has a complete life cycle. This is why stateful widgets are heavier. They use memory, they manage life cycle, and they hold data. Stateless widgets are lightweight. They are faster, they are easier to test, and they are easier to reuse. Now here comes a senior level development habit. In a real world production app, professionals always try to keep most widgets stateless. They move the logic and state to provider, riverpod, blocks, redux, and view models. Now you can ask why? Because when your UI is mostly stateless, your app becomes easier to debug, easier to scale, and easier to test, and easier to refactor. That's exactly how large companies build Flutter apps. Now let's do a final quick reality check. If your widgets only display text, displays image, or shows API data passed from parent, it should most likely be stateless widget. And if your widget updates on click, handle users input, runs animation, manage timers, and listen to streams, it must be a stateful or controlled by external state management. And now the final interview question that destroy 90% of candidates. What exactly happens when set state is called? Your answer should be when set state is called, Flutter reruns the build method, creates a new widget tree, compares it with the old one, and updates only the changed UI, not the whole screen. So if this video made things crystal clear, drop a like, comment, state clear, and subscribe. So I'll see you in the next one with some another great video.